Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we'll be studying about waste management. So let's start. Now let's zoom in a bit. Accumulation of waste has led to serious environmental consequences. It also poses a great health risk. The following points for the need for waste management. High degree of growth in population and industrialization has made pollution of environment a serious problem in many urban areas. Rapid increase in the number of vehicles on the road, especially in metropolitan cities, has degraded the quality of air severely. So it has degraded. The keyword is here is degraded. It leads to acid rain, which is adversely affects forests, freshwater, soil, etc., and kills insects. Waste, waste management is also needed as waste keep on accumulating in the environment. This increases the number of diseases and degrades the natural environment of an area. Then we have piling of waste lead to spread of diseases such as garbage, waste leading to typhoid, diarrhea, etc. These are some diseases related to piling of waste. So in a way, it is just a continuation of the third point. And then we move on to the fifth point. The land gets littered by plastic bags, garbage, and becomes ugly and unhygienic. Okay. The conventional plastics, right from the manufacturer to the disposal, is a major problem to the environment. Plastic bags can contaminate foodstuffs due to the leaching of toxic dyes and transfer of pathogens. Careless disposal of plastic bags in choked drains blocks the porosity of the soil and causes problems for groundwater recharge. Waste should be recycled to conserve our resources and protect our environment. Thus, designing eco-friendly and biodegradable plastics are need of the hour. With rising urbanization and change in lifestyle and food habits, the amount of municipal solid waste has been increasing rapidly. Okay, safe disposal of waste. Depending upon the type of waste, that is solid, liquid, or gas, organic or inorganic waste, toxic or non-toxic waste, they should be disposed accordingly. Several ways of disposing the waste are segregation waste. So it is a method of dividing garbage into reduce, reuse, and recycle materials. Segregation is important because if the waste is not separated properly, it all gets mixed up in the landfills. The danger of this is that if they will all leak after a period of time, resulting in the contamination of groundwater. Toxic or non-biodegradable chemicals and e-waste must be treated separately. The waste must be collected in closed abandoned vehicles of municipality. Open dump, it refers to uncovered areas that are used to dump solid waste, so special emphasis on uncovered. Waste is untreated, uncovered, and not segregated. It is the breeding ground for flies, rats, and other insects that spread diseases. The rainwater runoff from these dumps contaminate nearby land, water, and air, thereby spreading diseases. Treatment of open dumps needs to be phased out by landfills. Now, what exactly are landfills? Landfills are generally located in urban areas. It is a large pit that is dug in the ground. The garbage is dumped and the pit is covered with soil every day, thus preventing the breeding of flies and rats. After the landfill is full, the area is covered with a thick layer of mud, and the site can therefore be developed as a parking lot or a park. Now let's move on to composting. It is a biological process in which microorganisms, mainly fungi and bacteria, decompose biodegradable or organic waste in the presence of oxygen. Then you have various waste like leaf, twigs, etc. Organic waste are dumped into a pit and then covered. Compost is a rich source of organic matter. It plays an important role in sustaining soil fertility. Soil composting may be divided into two categories by the nature of the decomposition process. They are anaerobic and aerobic. Anaerobic means in the absence of oxygen, and aerobic means in the presence of oxygen. In anaerobic composting, decomposition occurs where oxygen is absent. Aerobic composting takes place in the presence of ample of oxygen. Benefits of composting: the soil becomes more resistant. So you only need to remember 3 points, 1, 2, and 3. Helps the crop in better absorption of nutrients and increases the quality of poor soils by adding humus. Okay, let's move on to the next section. Need for reducing, reusing, and recycling. In developing countries, waste management is turning out to be a major problem. The waste material therefore can be managed in 3 ways. We have reducing waste, reusing waste, and recycling waste. Okay, now let's move on to reducing waste. Since the waste is generated by human activities, it can be controlled by people. The generation of unnecessary waste should be reduced in the following ways. So harmful commodities like polythene bags should not be used as it is non-biodegradable. We can carry our own shopping bags such as cloth bags and paper bags. Mostly cloth bags are preferred nowadays because paper bags tend to tear a lot often. Using solar heaters and other solar products which are not harmful for the environment will help in reducing waste generation at the source point. They can be reduced by making compost. What can be reduced by making compost? Vegetable peels, papers, wrappers, leftover food, etc. In industries and offices, some processes can be reduced so that the generation of waste is less, such as by changing the material working on computers instead on paper, etc. After using various disposables such as plastic plates, etc., they should be kept and not thrown away immediately, as they can be put to many uses even after its first cheap purpose has been served. Avoiding purchase of new items immediately after a slight fault in the old product. It is wiser choice to use washable table napkins instead of paper. Okay, let's move on to reusing. The products which we use at home, offices, schools, etc. can be put to many uses before discarding it. Various methods of reusing materials are allowing customers to return used packages such as boxes, bubble wrap so that they can be used again. Furnishing, this is the first point. Furnishing an office with reclaimed materials instead of purchasing new chairs, tables, etc. So this is the wrong thing to do. You should furnish an office with reclaimed materials. Personal computers, printers, fax machines, televisions, etc. can be reused in business, personal, and non-profit environments. Appliances, clothes, furniture, dishes, vehicles, paint, and virtually anything else for the home can be found by shopping reused products instead of brand new and in most cases at significantly lower price. So you only need to remember 3 points. You can look at the next few points by pausing the video. And then we finally move on to recycling. It is processing of used waste materials into new useful products. This is done to reduce the use of raw materials that would have been used. So recycling is possible only if the waste is segregated at source and then soiled, cleaned, and reprocessed into new useful products. Recycling is beneficial in the following ways. So point 1, point 2, and finally point 3. Now let's look at point 1. It helps to protect the precious environment because if we burn the recyclable waste materials, these would pollute our land, air, and water and soil. The second point, recycling conserves natural resources. Recycling more waste means that we do not depend too much on raw resources which are already mass depleted. It also saves energy. Okay, method of waste recycle. Let's shift more towards the side. Okay. Method of waste recycle. There is paper recycling, there's plastic recycling, there's car recycling, and that's it. So what happens in paper recycling? In the process of paper recycling, the waste paper which is produced from households, offices, schools, etc. are used to make new fresh paper. Pieces of wood from furniture industry, used and discarded cloth are also recycled. So what about plastic recycling? In the process of recovering scrap or waste plastics from the cities and reprocessing the material into useful products, sometimes completely different in form from the original products. Example, soft drink bottles casted into plastic chairs and tables. And then finally, you have car recycling. In this process, the car is trampled and dismantled. So these are two keywords, trampled and dismantled, to take out its spare parts. The automobiles which reaches the end to the use can still have a purpose by giving back metal that is contained in them. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you learned and enjoyed this video. This video will be uploaded on isequaltoklasses, so be sure to check other videos as well as this video. Stay home, stay safe, take care. See you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.